Good afternoon, everyone. Brandon Hardison for Champion Strategies. Another edition of Hardison's Tips. Glad you can be with me today. I don't know if you can see behind me. We're doing a sales training class. They're out to lunch, so I have a set time. You have a set time. So let's quickly unpack it. So we started with F&I. Last week, we had one of the best at the walk around from Utah. And today, we're honored to talk about a couple of things from one of the best in his area, if not the nation, coming from a place called Alexandria, Louisiana. Now, let some of you think about it because Louisiana, Mardi Gras, New Orleans, hey, there's a whole other state besides New Orleans. But let's just get to it. I'll let him introduce his own self in his own way. I'll just call him Lamb. That's what his folks call him by. But hey, Mr. Holmes, how about telling us about yourself and what's going on exciting for you down there in Alexandria and who you're working for?
Thanks for having me, Mr. Hardison. I'm still working for Walker Honda, of course. I've been in Walker Honda for 20 years here at this dealership.
Okay.
I've been in the car business a total of 24. 20 years in one place means that people know where to find you. You know, one thing that I was taught in this business early was if you jump around, you're going to lose people because they're always wondering, hey, where did he go this week? Where's he at this week? If you stay in one place, deal with the ups and downs, build your clientele from top to bottom. Start with the smallest person, and they will enable you to move up the ladder and build that clientele to where people know where you are. You may not always get them, but they will always call you before they buy something.
Outstanding. Now, I have more new hires than the experience that I deal with because they need to be nurtured. Many times they don't get nurtured by the managers back at their dealerships. Not saying that they're bad, but they forget that they were new once, and you need to make sure that they're comfortable. If not, they're going to think that this is not a good career and go. But here's where I'm going. By staying in one place, is there a way now we can fill the pipeline, have a book of business, and don't really have to rely on the advertising or the allocation of that dealership because you already have a following?
I do. We do. The biggest thing that I do is I try to make sure I contact my customers. That's number one. Follow up is very important. Whether you
Ooh,
do it through Quick Page, which is relatively new, you send videos to your customers on the products, or just a happy birthday or a happy anniversary for their car. You can do it through phone calls, emails. Most people like it when you reach out to them
hmm.
and
Now,
keep in touch.
Now, I'm glad you said that. Follow up, because from a manager's perspective, and I'll just give you an example. We just put down Brandon looking at a Corvette. There's no
Correct.
way the manager can help you out because they were too lazy, and I'll say it again, they were too lazy to understand that this tool, the CRM, if you enter in a whole lot of information because you had a conversation, not an interrogation, you had a
Correct.
it can tell you about birthdays, anniversaries. Is that what you're telling everybody?
That's what we use. Reynolds and Reynolds as our CRM.
Okay.
I also have many of my customers are Facebook friends, social media friends, so they see what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and if I see the birthdays on Facebook, if I miss it in the CRM, I can see it on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or wherever you may have them, and you can always go back and send them a happy birthday.
Wow. Now, I'm just asking from you doing that because some of the folks that are probably watching that are still new to the industry and they're probably wondering if I made a good career choice because they came to work to wait. They didn't come to work with a plan. So, is there a way you can explain that again, because they may have missed that part.
If you use the tools, your CRM, all your stuff that you're giving, your Facebook, your social media, you're able to maintain a constant contact with your customers. There are pro platforms out there. I mean, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, there was a company called Constant Contact, I believe, where
Yes.
you would pay them, and they would constantly send out information to your customers.
Right. Right. So
Same.
if these folks that think that they can't make it in this industry would just slow down and find a way that they're comfortable to follow up. It doesn't have to be the CRM. The CRM could be the start. But if I heard you, if there's social confidence, I can use the Facebook, Snapchat, any one of them out there. Just follow up with the customers.
The one thing about the car business that a lot of people forget is this business is a marathon. It's not a sprint. The longer you're in one place, the more clients you're going to be able to build into your book of business. Once you jump around, if this week you're at Honda here, next week you're at Nissan over there, people are gonna they're gonna lose you, because they're gonna say, well, he sold me this product, now he's over here. Is he trying to sell a better product? What's he doing? And the biggest thing about staying in one location is having the confidence in the product that you sell, also to stay there. That's a big thing.
Excellent. Now, I know we're both on schedules here with that. So let's quickly talk about these social sites. And I'll tell everybody, I watch this gentleman every weekend blow it up. Now, I don't watch it during the week because I'm busy doing a lot of things. But on Saturdays, I see this person consistently blowing it up. So when people say that, let me just let you cross across the curb, happy motoring, that's a bad thing to do. I call it this. What can you do? Your job. What can you do to ensure that the customer has had a great experience with you before they leave? Or how are they going to take you home with them, if we want to look at it that way? Because they're going to tell people that, yeah, I purchased a new car, but let me tell you about my salesperson. So what's some of the things that you do?
Man, I've done everything from have the car cleaned with balloons and a bow on it to years ago. I need to get back in practice. My sold photographs, I would take those and put them on a postcard and send it to the customer.
Huh.
And a lot of them put them on their refrigerators, did things like that, so that they would always, be like a little congratulations, maybe a couple pictures of them in their car, me in there. And they would always remember that, hey, he sold me a car. It's on their fridge. So when they go look, I'm in their house.
Got it.
Some people do thank you notes. I'm a talker, so I call and thank, conversate. Here at the dealership, one other thing that we do, because we're not as large as some dealers, at this dealership, they make us, when we have a local customer with a license plate, we can either invite them in to come pick up their plate and we'll put it on for them. Or if we have time, we can run it to their business and put it on for them.
Now you opened up a whole new door, because most managers and salespeople feel that the brick and mortar is the only thing to do. Did I hear you say leave the dealership and go to somebody's place of business or home?
Yes, take them their license plate. If they're at the business, when you go in the door with their plate, that makes other people observe, and they say, well, my salesman didn't bring me a plate. My salesman didn't even call me when my plate came in. Wow, this guy must be something different, or this organization may be something different. So therefore, they may not come and see me, but they may come see somebody who works in my organization to get the same treatment, to see if they can get the same feeling that that other person received.
That is it. Now, what would be your feeling, because we're all going through it and hopefully one day we'll get to the end of it, but ever since this virus has attacked a whole lot of dealerships across the nation, I know for myself on this side of the Mississippi, many of them didn't have a plan, talking about the ownership, and they've shut down. People have been furloughed. Some people just don't like the hours because it's been too reduced. But I try to tell them, you're just trying to wait for the up bus and live off of the dealership. Be more of an entrepreneur. So, since we talked about leaving the dealership, is there any tools maybe that you use if the dealership doesn't have, where they can do some of the work online and not all of it when they come to the dealership? Do you have anything in place, or have you heard of anything like that?
The dealership has a few things in place. For me
Okay.
personally, I have, my cell phone number available. People contact me via Facebook Messenger, via my cell, and we start building the deal from that point. If I'm out, we can text. If I'm at work, we can call or text. However it takes for them to get the deal done, whether to call, text, email,
Right.
messages.
Right.
We also offered home deliveries during the
Ah,
we also own home test drives.
okay.
I don't know if you've seen her. There's also a young lady in North Carolina that I follow. She works at, I think, a Honda dealership over there. She does everything, home delivery. So I've been trying to find people who do things that I like and take some of that and add it into what I'm already doing.
Excellent. The reason being, once again, people are still buying vehicles.
They
We
are.
have to give them a reason to buy from us or our establishment.
Exactly.
Well, do something different. Do something that the other folks are not doing. So taking it to their home for a delivery or a test drive, yeah, why not? As long as it's sanitized and they
Yes.
feel comfortable with the
Yes.
ride, that's great. I have even talked to some people that would even take the service to do the same thing. You don't want to come into the service department? Where do you work? We'll come and pick up your vehicle, leave you a loaner so we can service your vehicle, bring it back to you. All it takes is thinking a little bit instead of waiting for somebody to come in through the door, because they may not come in with today's client. And
Correct.
we have the client and the climate going on currently with the virus, it hurts people. Now, running down on time a little bit, because I thank you, and I only had about 20 minutes to work with that. There was something new dealing with the social platform that you wanted to share.
Professional videos.
Okay.
One of my colleagues had a professional video done for his social media outlet with not just with your cell phone. You go in, you have someone come in, they video camera, they edit. I mean, it looks, the quality and presentation changes from, of course, a cell phone to a professionally developed video,
Hmm.
so that you have a product that you can use all year. You can use it every month. You can move it around. You can use it as long as you want to, as long as you're in that establishment.
Right. Right. Right.
Professional video. I think that's my next adventure.
Huh.
Professionally edited and filmed video to post on my social media website.
Okay. So just for some of the folks, and they may still be trying to wrap their head around it, what do you think is the difference between the cell phone quality and to have somebody who does it professionally?
Well, you get more in the video. With the cell phones, you get the product, you can get the person, but you get different scenarios. You can do, the editing is better. they can use different lighting, different setups
Huh.
to change, from each office as you go from, if you do it at your sales desk, if you go to the finance office, to walk through the whole process. You can let them see how easy it is from step one all the way through, which can be done with a camera, but the image is so much clearer and so much more perfected with a actual professionally developed video than it is with a cell phone.
I'm glad and thank you for sharing that. There is something, ladies and gentlemen, which is an exact science. And if you've been following me in the morning at 5 a.m., we talk about it. It's called neuro linguistic programming, an exact science. If you don't know that term, just put in your favorite search engine, NLP, Nancy, Larry, Paul, NLP, and you'll get a plethora of information about this exact science. But in the short and skinny, it's how people learn. It's how they take in information. Some people are auditory, some people are visual, some people are touchy-feely or kinesthetic, or a combination. So what I'm hearing Lamb say is that if you have this professional, better quality with the pixels, everything pops a lot better when they're viewing you doing this walk around the dealership.
Correct. You can see more. It's more, to me, his video was in depth, whereas with the camera, just kind of an overview. With the phone camera, you get a little overview because it's quick, short, and easy. His video was less than a minute, done professionally.
Okay.
Done from just going through, and it was when I saw it first, I called him. I said, "Hey, dude, who did your video? Who did it?" And he was like, "Well, this guy over here at Take 7 Studios, which is a local entity here in town." I was
Okay.
like, "Man, send me his number. I'm gonna call him." So I called him. I'm getting ready to schedule mine, hopefully in the next week, to get everything lined out where I can do the same type video.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I know some people may be watching and they're going to say, "Hey, you know what, Lamb? I'm new to it. That's probably going to be out of my range." And I don't want you to give me a price,
Right.
but
Right.
let's look at this investment. Let's look
Exactly.
at this investment for their profession down the road.
Exactly.
From what you've heard, from what you've seen about it, can you get your money back?
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, if you're doing any type of video and promoting yourself on Facebook, social media outlets, you have a full-fledged opportunity to get every dollar back that you put in it. That could be one car deal, depending on where you work, could pay for the whole video, or could pay for a couple of videos. So
Excellent.
we're in a business where we're blessed to be in a position where we can do that.
Excellent. Everything that you're saying is extremely correct. And as we wind down, just wanted to find out your personal thoughts because there are some youngsters that are considering coming in or they're in. And yeah, Facebook, that's grandma. LinkedIn, that's for my pop and them. I had read an article, just want to get your thinking of it. I thought about 3 to 5% now, salespeople are getting it from TikTok. Have you heard of anybody using TikTok?
I haven't seen anyone here where we work. Well, I was just talking to one of my coworkers. He was on there looking at videos, and it looks like, people just sit there and watch the videos. So it's definitely another platform to use. Like I say, sometimes you got to use what you got to get what you need, which means use every outlet you can to help yourself. If you
Okay.
got Facebook, TikTok, use it all.
That's it. Because all we're trying to do is build that book of business, get that funnel going. So no matter what we get out of there, it would be outstanding. So want you to wind it down with this because you do have that experience. And I know you're blessed and you do a great job. But what would be one little snippet of advice to somebody who just changed careers, thinking about maybe going in? Because, like I said, we call it Hardison's tips. So anything that you would share with somebody from your 24-year experience here?
in this business, whether you're new or whether you got 50 years experience, you're always able to learn something from someone, whether the green pea, as we call him, the new guy, or even the older. If you in the car industry, if you decide you know it all, you're not gonna last long. So always keep an open mind and keep focused on learning new things on a consistent basis.
Oof. I love it. And while I got you there, a couple of folks who are listening chimed in. They agreed with you, Lamb, by saying so true. Just need to have a process, whatever it is, and actually follow it all the way through.
Yes.
Another person just chimed in and said that they are actually using the platform that you're talking about as far as the live video with the camera instead of the cell phone. So yeah, people around the country concur with what you're saying there with that then. So with that said, I have to get back to my sales training class, and I know you probably got an appointment or delivery or something that you're rocking and rolling with. Still
Thank you
with
again
it?
for having me. And
There you go. Okay then, thank you. And just quickly, where is Alexandria, Louisiana?
we're in the central area of Louisiana. We're kind of in the middle of the state. The area we live in, we call it Sinla, which is, like I say, central Louisiana.
Okay.
Shreveport is 2 hours away. New Orleans, however, is about 3.5. Okay. Baton Rouge is about 2.
Okay.
So we're centrally located right in the middle of the state.
Oh, so that big elongated state where they just know the southern part, New Orleans, there's still more to it.
Oh, there's a top half. There's a top half.
Okay, then I'm glad to have you. You take care. God bless.
God bless you too. Thanks again.
Okay, no problem.
Yes,
And
sir.
for the other folks out there, remember, we do this live every Wednesday, 12 noon. Don't try to keep you long because we're both working. So with that said, just like as always in parting, Brandon Hardison for Champion Strategy saying, go on out and make it a champion day.